This is THV 11 News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Brooke Buckner.
And I'm Faith Woodard. 59 years ago, Arkansas PBS made its debut, but next year that chapter will come to a close after PBS officials reported the network faced significant financial strain. A decision was made to change direction.
By next year, a new era will begin for the network operated by the Arkansas Educational Television Commission. THV 11's Maya Ellison takes a look at what's ahead and what viewers can expect.
Shows like Arthur, Clifford, and even Sesame Street. Yeah, those shows sound familiar, and if you're anything like me, then you grew up on those shows. It's a part of our childhood, and they were all on PBS. Well, soon, many of those shows, as well as the new ones, won't be on your TV the same way they've been for decades. As Arkansas PBS is rebranding, I've learned that while the name and the programs are changing, station leaders tell me the one thing that remains is the mission.
We now have the ability to bring in a focus on our natural state, on Arkansas TV.
Executive Director Carlton Wing says keeping that local focus was key when the decision was made to disaffiliate from PBS. The newly named Arkansas TV brings an end to a 59-year legacy.
In July, when the federal funding was stopped through the Corporation of Public Broadcasting, that was a huge financial hit for our station. It was $2.5 million, which is 20% of our overall budget.
Back in September, CBS News reported more than $1 billion in public broadcasting funding was eliminated nationwide. Wing says staying with PBS would have left the station in financial limbo. Would it be safe to say that this decision was more about ensuring the survival of you all rather than honestly letting things fizzle out?
Absolutely. What a lot of people don't understand is the dire financial situation that this station was in without that federal funding. We would be bankrupt within about 2 years. So we had to make a decision. Do we survive or do we adapt and overcome?
Arkansas PBS is home to more than 70 programs. And while many Arkansans question what's staying and what's going, Wing cleared up the speculations.
And for people who still want to see specific programs that they've come to know on PBS, those are still available. They just won't be available on our over-the-air broadcast. But we'll have documentaries, we'll have movies, we'll have education, we'll have all of that. It'll just be different titles.
Now for Arkansas, it's the first state to cut ties with PBS. But as I learned, officials say it may not be the last.
There are many other states that are headed down the same path financially, and so everybody is going to have to address how do we move forward based on the funding structure changing.
In Conway, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Maya. Network officials tell us changes are expected to be made June 30th of next year. You can find more information on our website, thv11.com.
Skies became overcast today with a few breaks from time to time. We did manage to warm into the upper 50s this afternoon, and this is the way your evening shapes up. The state capitol all lit up. Gorgeous evening out there. Here's what your numbers were today. High temperature Little Rock was 58 degrees. It was in the middle 50s in a lot of places, and even a couple of others making it to 60. Fort Smith made it to 60. Harrison 63. Mountain Home 62. More cloud cover coming our way tomorrow with a little bit of a chance of rain. Our numbers have dropped off into the upper 40s and low 50s currently, and we are going to see those readings slide on back into the lower 40s. There could be a few raindrops tonight, maybe a little drizzle. But warmer temperatures are on the horizon. In fact, we'll talk about a very mild Christmas in just a few minutes. Faith?
Tom, thank you. A chicken farm in southeast Arkansas is turning into a nasty neighbor. It's a farm in Cleveland County where neighbors are sharing evidence of improperly dumped carcasses and contaminated water. And those neighbors are frustrated, trying to get their complaints heard. THV 11 investigates. Tanya Motorzitsky tried to help and shares more on what she learned.
They don't take care of them. They don't clean them.
It's going to take the value of our property down.
Residents like Janet Kimsey say one in particular off Highway 63 with a Tyson chicken sign outside is causing problems. Residents share these pictures with me from last month that show dead goats on the property line, dead chickens, and what neighboring farmer owners say is sludge with E. coli and other parasites coming from the chicken farm where dead chickens are stored and getting into the Kissy Creek that flows into the Saline River.
When it rains, that water goes down the ditches, down in front of my house.
But the smell, she says, is unlike any other chicken farm she's been around.
Summertime, It's terrible. You go back to the Dollar General during the summertime, you can't hardly stay in there.
I'm at the farm that everyone in the community is complaining about. There's a Tyson sign in front. About to knock on the door and see what they say or if they answer. They answered, but there was a language barrier. So we looked into who owns the farm now and what's being done. The sign out front reads Tina Farms LLC Tyson. On the Arkansas Secretary of State's website, it says Tina Farms is not licensed. They tell me the previous owner of the farm had their license revoked in January of 2024 because they did not pay their franchise fees. We found a complaint filed with the Arkansas Division of Environmental Quality. It says, quote, the owners of this chicken farm are nasty and very neglectful. The complaint goes on to say they leave dead chickens in the shed until there is black liquid running from them. There's no environmental protectors. Dead trees are everywhere. We talked to the department. They say a complaint like that likely got pushed to the State Department of Agriculture. Tonight, the message residents have for city, county, and state leaders is loud and clear.
Chicken houses, we don't really want them. They're going to be in our front yard.
We have reached out to Tyson's to ask about what connection they have to the property. And real estate records indicate the name of the operation has changed several times in the last few years, making it hard to even check for any complaints. But we have inquiries out to county, state, and federal agencies and are waiting to hear back. We will let you know when we do.
The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics just released the November jobs report, and it's leaving mixed signals for the U.S. economy. In November, employers added 64,000 jobs, down from September, but still beating expectations. A partial look at October, delayed by the government shutdown, showed a loss of 105,000 jobs, driven largely by federal workers who accepted buyouts. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate rose to 4.6%, the highest since 2021. And according to the Commerce Department, retail sales were unchanged in October. That's down from September's 0.1% increase and the weakest monthly reading in 5 months. It is roughly in line with what economists predicted in a poll by data firm FactSet. The report was delayed because of the government shutdown.
But later this week, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will release their final Consumer Price Index report for the year. The CPI is a key gauge of inflation because it looks at how much the price of a variety of goods and services changes month to month. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at what's driving up costs.
From groceries to natural gas and electric bills, costs are rising and consumers are feeling the crunch, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report.
People are still frustrated because we saw prices rise quite quickly coming out of the pandemic. They're never going back down.
Because of inflation, the most recent data shows American households are spending $208 more a month to purchase the same goods and services as they were a year ago, and over $1,043 more a month than they did at the start of 2021, according to data from Moody's Analytics.
We hear loud and clear how people are experiencing really costs.
Last week, the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates by 0.25 percentage point, which will make it cheaper to borrow money for things like credit cards and car loans. One of the reasons they lowered rates was because they say inflation is cooling.
If you get away from tariffs, inflation is in the low 2s, right? So it's really tariffs that's causing most of the inflation overshoot.
Powell says inflation due to tariffs will likely be short-lived, but experts say that doesn't mean costs will come down.
Inflation, it might slow down, but we're still going to have higher prices.
Many experts say the best way for consumers to feel better about the economy is for wages to increase. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
It was hard. It was difficult. It was many, many late nights, but it was always so rewarding when we would see them come in and just in awe.
Coming up, a holiday decorating contest you do not want to miss. How Rosebud Elementary is bringing the holiday spirit.
Little rain chance coming our way tomorrow, mainly over southern Arkansas. Temperatures remain on the mild side. And then we'll really warm up heading into the weekend. And next week, I'll have that forecast when we come back.